Okay, so I've got myself into a very bad situation right now. So today we are going to do some concrete driveway repair. We're going to do a little bit of light concrete repair, but we're also going to do some heavy concrete repair. No intro today, let's just get to it. So what we're going to do today is going to be fast and simple. So we're going to fill in all the cracks and all the large voids with the Rapid Set Cementol, because the Cementol can go anywhere from 4 inches thick all the way down to a feathered edge. It'll even be able to fill in this very large void right here. There's actually no concrete here. This is all just filled up with dirt. I'm going to dig out all this dirt and we're going to be left with a 4-inch hole. So the Cementol will also be able to take care of this, and we'll be able to feather the edges in really well and key this in very nicely. Then obviously after that we're going to be left with a bunch of concrete repairs that simply don't match, and that's where the NewCrete is going to come in, and we're going to resurface the whole square to tie everything in. Make it look like a seamless repair. So let's start by doing some prep work. So just to give you a little bit of context of what's happening here, this is actually my in-laws' house. And not only are we taking care of a little bit of winter damage here, they just had a ton of foundation work done, and that's why they're left with all these voids. So we're gonna try to make it look like none of this ever happened. I'm gonna start by digging out this hole, getting the edges all nice and cleaned up. Then we're gonna chisel out any loose debris that we might have in these cracks. Then I'm gonna rinse down both of these flags, make sure they're nice and clean. Now that I got that all excavated, cleaned up, got rid of all the loose debris, now I'm going to lay down a 1 to 2 inch layer of drainage rock. And I'm gonna make sure that I tamp it down really well. We need this drainage rock for, well, drainage. And before I pour, I'm going to cut to size this fibrous expansion joint material to separate the different slabs. This allows for expansion and contraction and movement. All right, now everything is prepped, cleaned, scraped, ready to go, ready to pour. So we're gonna start off with the Cementol. We're gonna fill in the voids with the Cementol, but we're also gonna do a lot of feathering with the Cementol. Now another way that Cementol really shines is that it will bond to existing concrete without any kind of bonding primer. But aside from prepping it, making sure it's clean, free of loose debris, and free of greases and whatever, you do have to wet the substrate down, and that way it'll get a much better bond and the substrate won't suck the moisture right out of the product. So make sure that all bonding surfaces are moist. Now, with that being said, full disclosure, I am being a little lazy right now. In order for me to properly bond this new slab to the old slab, I really should be drilling 4 to 5 holes over here, insert some rebar and epoxy them to tie everything together. But with such a small area, I'm not gonna bother with that. And worst case scenario, we have to deal with a hairline crack over here. And my in-laws, well, I really haven't told my in-laws about that, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm gonna start off by mixing a very small amount of Cementol for this crack repair. Now usually when I mix a full bag, I use 5 quarts of water, but since I'm only mixing up a small portion, I'm going to mix it at a ratio of 4 parts product to 1 part water. But basically I am going for a stiff pancake batter mixture. Alright. You wanna work fast with this stuff. So get this stuff out of the bucket. And again, since this stuff has like a really fine silica sand aggregate, you can go to a feathered edge with this stuff. It's almost like working with drywall compound. That's about all I can do with the trowel. Now we're going to blend this in and feather the edges with a damp sponge. Not only is this blending it in, it's also giving me a little bit of a sandpaper texture, something for the resurfacer to bite onto. And that's it. That literally took me about 2 minutes. We're gonna go on over to the void, fill that void in, but we do want to keep an eye out because once this starts to set up in about 15 minutes to a half hour, we're gonna want to keep this saturated. We want to water cure it for 1 hour. That will avoid surface cracks. Now, you might be wondering, why don't we just use the cheap stuff for this? And we could, but you would definitely have to epoxy some rebar in there. You would have to use metal mesh. Regular Portland-based cements will not bond to existing concrete, and it won't be anywhere near as strong. By using the Cemental, I don't have to do any of that stuff, and at the same time, I can feather in these jagged edges, key them in, and they will bond, and they will bond strong. All right, now I'm mixing a full bag, so I'm gonna start off with 5 quarts of water. Putting the water in first is gonna make for a way easier time mixing. All right, let's pour this bad boy. Alright, let's mix up another bucket. I'm really scared that I don't have enough bags. Okay, so I've got myself into a very bad situation right now. So I shorted myself 1 bag, it looks like. So the lesson here is make sure that not only do you have enough product to do your job, make sure that you have just a little bit more, just in case. Because especially with Rapid Set, this is not the situation you want to be in. So what I'm going to do, before I run off to Home Depot to go get some more Cemental real quick, I'm going to scourify this surface to give the next bag something to really bite onto. It will bond to itself, but it will bond to itself much better if I create a nice rough texture, or like a scratch coat. So no, I did this on purpose so that you would learn from my mistakes. We got to go. All right, it's about 15 minutes, 20 minutes later, this stuff is rock solid. So it's okay, we're gonna be all right. We just gotta make sure that we saturate this really well. And again, since we gave it that scratch coat, it will bond to itself. Looks like I need just about like maybe another half bag. But before I mix that up, I'm just gonna key in my edges just a little bit. And we'll top this off. This is where Cemental really shines. Is blending all this in. Now again, I can leave it nice and smooth like this, but I want to give it just a little bit of a texture to give the NewCrete something to bite onto, but also, even if we were to leave this like this, you'd still want a little bit of a texture. So a big tip with this stuff, when you're doing a big mass of this stuff like this, everything gets hotter. Everything gets hotter quicker. So when that happens, surface cracks are more likely to happen. So make sure that you are babysitting this thing for 1 hour until it cools down. You see these light spots? These are spots where it is rock solid and it is curing. It's curing fast. When I put my hand down here, I can feel the heat. So again, for 1 hour, do some water curing. Otherwise you will get surface cracks. Thin projects like this, not as big of a deal, but you do still want to water cure. Things are not getting as hot as quickly on this one. But this one, all right, so we've patched up our crack, we've filled in our void, and honestly, we could leave it like this if we wanted to. But obviously, we have two patches that simply don't match. So now we can actually tie this all in together, square by square, with the NewCrete, with a resurfacer. And you won't even know that those patches are there. As far as prep is concerned, same thing, make sure it's clean, free of loose debris, free of oils and greases, any kind of bond inhibitor, and then wet the surface down. Now what I've done also as well is I've taped off this particular square. A common question with resurfacers is, do you go over the expansion joints or the control joints? No, you gotta stay true to the expansion joints. So I've taped these off. I'm gonna do this square today and I'm gonna do this square tomorrow. I can do these both on the same day, but it just makes it easier for me to do them on separate days as far as taping off is concerned. Hot tip, Tyvek tape makes a really great painter's tape for concrete. So just like the Cementol, this is a 4 parts product to 1 part water mixing ratio. And the best way to spread this stuff out is with a squeegee. Now you're going for a 1/16 of an inch thickness to 1/8 of an inch thickness tops. You don't want to go too thick with this stuff because any thicker than 1/8 of an inch and it becomes very unmanageable to work with. This particular product has a lot of polymers in it, so it tends to be a little bit more on the sticky side the thicker you work with it. So if you are getting ripples in the surface, that means you're going a little bit too thick. And once you get this stuff spread out nice and evenly, grab yourself a broom and give yourself a nice light broom texture. But you gotta work quickly because once this stuff starts to set up, it becomes a little bit too gummy to put on that broom texture. And as far as the taped off portions are concerned, I like to take my trowel or my margin trowel and cut any excess along those edges, scrape them out, take the tape off before it's dry, and blend in all the corners with a damp sponge. And that's it, just let it cure for at least a couple hours before any foot traffic. I would wait at least 24 hours before driving on it though. And this is what a 24-hour cure looks like. And again, this rippling that you're seeing right here, that's from me laying it on just a little bit too thick in those areas. All right, it's the next day and we are gonna tackle this square. So I'm gonna start off by taping that off and we'll get right to work. Now with the NewCrete, you are not supposed to have to water cure with this stuff. But on a good hot day, if you're doing this out in the sun like I am, make sure you water cure this stuff. Now hot tip, something that I really wish that I would have remembered when I was getting all my stuff together, is if you're doing this out in the sun, try to make sure that you get one of those pop-up tents. Work in the shade with this stuff if you can help it. That will buy you so much more time and save you a lot of aggravation. Well, that's it. It's not perfect, but it sure beats paying thousands of dollars to have both of these slabs broken up, hauled away, have new ones poured. This is a fantastic option and a fantastic tool to have in your back pocket when you need it. Now this side has had 24 hours to cure. This side right here has only had about maybe an hour while I've been sitting here cleaning up and straightening up. So the darker streaks that you're seeing right here, another 24 hours, those are going to be gone. But that's it for this video. So be kind, be present, and do your part.